Hey friends, welcome back. I'm so glad you are here today. We're going to be talking all about our homeschool schedule today. Thanks for being here today. If you are new to my channel, my name is Anna, and on this channel you will find all things motherhood, encouragement, homemaking encouragement, homeschooling content, things like that. So if you are into those things, I would love to have you stick around and be a part and subscribe and join in on all the fun. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys all about our homeschool schedule, and I'm really excited to share about this because I feel so good about this year. We have been doing a school for about a week now, and I have changed this schedule 3 times since then, but it's working great now, and so I feel like I found the sweet spot, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it is so helpful, and I can't take total credit for this, so I have to give a shout out to Jamie Erickson. I believe she is the one I learned most of this from. When I went to conference at the Teach Them Diligently conference a couple of months ago, she did a whole class about how to make a homeschool schedule. Oh my goodness, it was life-changing for me, so helpful, and so hopefully this will be helpful for you. I can probably leave this template below for you guys if you want to make one similar to this. I'll leave the Canva template there for you and maybe make it a little bit easier for you, but it's very easy to do, and really you could do this in Google Sheets. This is the schedule. I'm going to give you guys a better view of it. So the top part is basically everything we do together as a family, and then the bottom part where you see all the colors, that's where it starts breaking into everyone doing independent work or they're working with mom. So I'll get into the part at the bottom in a minute, but let's talk about the top part first. So my kids wake up at 7 a.m. I get messages about this all the time. How do you get your kids to sleep in till 7 a.m., especially my 3-year-old and my 5-year-old? Okay, they get up before then. They come in my room. I tell them, go back to your room. Your clock is not green yet. We use one of those okay to wait clocks. So the little ones, they are usually up by like 6:30, but I make them stay in their room. They can read books. They can really do whatever they want in their room, but they just have to stay in there until 7. So that way I can finish up my quiet time, because I have been trying to wake up about 6:30, get in my quiet time, plan a little bit for the day. I've been trying, I would like to be able to also have time to put the homeschool stuff out on the table and all of that too. I got to wake up a little bit earlier to get that done. But that's the goal. So if they can stay in their room till 7 a.m. it's so helpful for me. So it's just gonna take some time for them to learn that again, because over the summer we just let them wake up whenever they wanted. So we gotta retrain this a little bit. So that's gonna look like us just saying, okay, no, you got to go back in your room. You can't wake up till your clock is green. The boys are good about it. My big boys, their Alexa alarm wakes them up, and so they just get up when the alarm goes off. Most of the time I have one child who likes to sleep in, so sometimes we got to yank him out of the bed, but for the most part they are usually all up around 7 a.m. So once they get up, I encourage, I'm never gonna force my kids to read God's word or do their devotions, but I encourage them to read their Bible, talk to the Lord for a little bit. It also sometimes gives me a few more minutes to finish up my devotion time. And I also want them to learn that that's the way you should wake up. You should wake up and give your first fruits to the Lord. And so I encourage them to do that. One of my kids is not reading great yet, so he usually will use the iPad and listen to the Bible, just the Bible app. But the other one, he has a whole devotions and scripture memory book and all of that he does. And I believe I talked all about that in his 6th grade curriculum video. So I will link that above if you want to check that out. Once everyone is awake and in the living room, we usually all watch World Watch News. Y'all, we have been loving World Watch News. If you are not doing World Watch News with your kids, I highly recommend it. It is awesome. It's a Christian-based news company, and they just give really informative news stories that kids can understand, that are safe for kids to watch, and that are really good for kids to know. It also incorporates a lot of just fun stories. Sometimes it's about animals or a story of an athlete, but it's really great for our kids to be up to date date on the things that are going on in the world, but at an age appropriate level. And so I love the approach that World Watch News takes on this. They do such an incredible job. So I highly recommend it. It is a subscription. We did actually the free one that they put on YouTube every day. I think it's like 2 minutes long. So we did that for maybe like a year, but now we do the subscription, and it's really affordable. And it's worth every penny if you ask me. So it's great. It's a great way to start your homeschool day. So we like to do that kind of right when we wake up, because my kids really don't like to eat right when they wake up, surprisingly. So they like to kind of relax a little bit, lay on the couch a little bit. So this is a great thing for us to do right when we wake up in the morning. So if you choose to use World Watch News, please use my link. I will put that below for you guys, but it's so good. Then after that, that is when we do breakfast and chores. I often will cook them breakfast, like eggs or something, and set that out for them. But I would say about 50% of the time, they are doing it on their own. And actually, 2 of my boys, one of their chores this year, once a week, is to make breakfast for everyone. Trying to take a little bit off of me in the morning, and that is working out well too. So sometimes I'm in there making them breakfast, sometimes they're doing it on their own. So everyone eats around 7:30. So from 7 to 7:30 is World Watch News and devotions, and then from 7:30 to 8 they're eating breakfast. And then as soon as they get done eating breakfast, sometimes it doesn't take them the full 30 minutes to eat breakfast, but as soon as they are done eating breakfast, they will start their morning chores. They have a set of chores that they do before school and then a set of chores they do after school. So after breakfast, they get right to their chores, and they will do chores for usually 20 or 30 minutes, depending on what they have to do. And then everyone is supposed to be gathered in the living room ready to start their workout at 8:30. And so once everyone is gathered, we do the Form curriculum. If you have not heard of Form, it's another thing that we've started new this year that I absolutely love. We are having so much fun with it. Form has a homeschool curriculum that you can do with your kids, and it's Christian based, and they have different videos that you can watch. They're usually around 5 to 6 minutes long. The first video of the lesson will be a video about nutrition, and then they do a warm-up and a workout and then a cool down. And y'all, it has been so good. We have enjoyed it so much. The kids are having so much fun with it. They beg to do it every morning. They're like, is it time to do Form yet? Is it time to do Form yet? They're having a lot of fun with it. And it's just long enough to where they don't get bored with it, but it's just enough to be informative and help them get their body moving. So y'all know I am really passionate about health and fitness, and it's something I'm passionate about teaching my kids and leaving that legacy for them. And so this is a great way to do it. And we don't do a full lesson every day, so we just do about half the lesson. And that seems to work out great. I don't know if that will change as we get farther along in the school year, but right now that is working great for us. So I highly recommend you guys check out Form. I will leave my link below if you want to check that out. So I should mention, between 7:30 and 8:30, that is my time to get my workout done, start some house chores, get myself dressed and ready for the day. And so I am pretty hands off with the kids during that time. This last week I've had to be a little bit more hands-on because we had to figure out how to get Form on the TV and stuff like that. But now my oldest son can kind of handle that. So that gives me about an hour in the morning to get those things done that I need to get done. But at 9 a.m. I am in the dining room ready to start morning time and Bible time with the kiddos. So that is when we all gather around in the dining room table and we start some family subjects together. So I plan to do very soon a video about how we do morning time and our Bible time. I think that will be really helpful for you guys to see. So I'm not going to go through exactly what we do during this time, but I'll just tell you we do Bible, which is my morning manna. Bible curriculum, if you're not familiar with it, you can get all the information in the description box. It's awesome, if I do say so myself. We are loving it and it is working great, but it incorporates a lot of different things, including Bible memory, catechism, how to read the Bible with your kids, all of that stuff. So that is pretty much what we do during that time. And then we do some loop books. Basically, I have a loop schedule for a few different books that I am doing with the kids. We're doing Faithopedia from Not Consumed. We're doing like a manners book. We are doing some poetry, some music study. And I did do a video about all of this. I will link it right here for you guys. But that video talks all about the different things that we are doing for our family subjects this year. Oh, I will also link my Bible video right here for you guys if you want to know more about how Morning Manna works and our Bible curriculum. It's really all there for you. So then we do that about 30 minutes. And y'all, I am not a slave to this schedule. I probably should have prefaced this whole video by saying that. I'm not a slave to this. I like having times here for just to make sure we kind of stay on track and don't start chasing too many rabbits during the day. But I am totally fine if the kids are really curious about a topic. We will sit there for a lot longer than what is on the schedule. Or if they're really bored with whatever we're doing, we might just move straight on to something else, okay? So I'm not like, at 9:30 a.m. we must do blah, blah, blah. I'm just not like that. So I'm very flexible with this schedule, but having a time does kind of keep me on task. Okay, so history and science is next. We go back and forth with these subjects. So one day we'll do history, one day we'll do science, and we kind of just try to do them both 2 days a week. Sometimes it's only 1 day a week. During that time, I also will let them grab a snack. So history and science time is about 30 minutes long, depending on what we're doing. If we have like a longer science experiment or something like that, we might go longer. Now, this is where the fun begins. I'm gonna show you guys my schedule again, give you a closer look. This might look confusing to you, but actually it makes a lot of sense, okay? So bear with me if you're like, whoa, that is too complicated. I promise you I'm not a complicated person, so this is not complicated. It just looks a little crazy, but it makes a lot of sense, I promise. Okay, so at 10 a.m. is when we start individual subjects, okay? So you see I have a column, my oldest son has a column, and then the next one and the next one and the next child, okay? Even down to my 3-year-old, he has his own column. Now, my color is purple. So anywhere you see purple, that is me. And then the next child has green. Every child has their own color, okay? So you can see at 10 a.m., I'm doing language arts with color blue. So that would be my son, Landon. So that means I'm doing language arts with him for that first 30-minute block. Then you can see I have pink as my next color. Language arts and math, I'm doing with my daughter during that 30-minute block. And then the next one is blue. That is when I do reading with my son, and then the next 30 minutes is pink. I do reading with my daughter. And then at 12:30, you can see that one is green. That is when I check in with my son and we sit down and I look at his work and all of that kind of stuff. So let's move over to Emmy's column. I want to explain how it works for each individual child. So her color is pink. So you see her first time block at 10 a.m. she's doing her warm up, her handwriting, and explode the code. So that block is pink. So that means that she's doing that by herself. If it was purple, that would mean she would be doing it with me, okay? Then the next one is purple. So that means language arts and math time, she's doing that with mom. And then yellow is my youngest son, Michael, my 3-year-old. That is his color. And you see she has sibling time with him at 11 a.m. So I have been incorporating sibling time. This is another idea I got from Jamie Erickson. Brilliant, brilliant idea, but it has been working so good, okay? And I've had so many messages from you guys because I've mentioned it a few times on here and on Instagram. So you guys are like asking me all the time, what is sibling time? Please do a video. We want to know more. So here's what sibling time is. It is 30 minutes where one of my kids is with the 3-year-old and they're having sibling time. They're having fun time with that sibling, and it's 30-minute increments and they all 3 take a turn. So that gives me an hour and a half to work one-on-one with one of the other kids in peace and quiet most of the time while they play with my toddler. And it works so well, y'all. So a few of the rules are they have to do whatever he wants to do. This is not about them getting to do fun stuff for them. Okay, so I printed a whole list out. I'll show you the list here. I'll leave the link below for that printable for the list of things that I have. It may not make a lot of sense to you guys because it's just a bunch of stuff that I have laying around that I reserve only for school time. So the stuff on the list is pretty much only for school time, and that makes it like new and fun for him every day. He also has a whole little basket in our homeschool storage area of stuff he can do in that basket too. And then they are able to come up with whatever, if they have another idea of a fun activity they want to do with him, then they can do that. But the main thing is they have to be quiet, and usually they're doing it in another room other than where we are schooling, and they have to be with him the whole time. They can't go off and do like build Legos by themselves, and they have to be doing what he wants to do. And it's been working great. They actually all really look forward to it. They have so much fun with it. They're like, is it sibling time yet? Is it sibling time yet? So that has been a great thing that we have incorporated this year that is helping me so much. Okay, so let's go back over to Gabe. He is my 6th grader, and this is what his schedule looks like. He has math for 30 minutes, then he has sibling time for 30 minutes, then he does his language arts or IEW for 30 minutes. And y'all, we stick to this 30 minutes for all of these subjects because I find it very overwhelming for my kids when they have to do longer than that. So especially for language arts, especially for math, I say either 30 minutes or one lesson. That's all you have to do that day, and that really helps us a lot. So right now he's just doing language arts because our co-op hasn't started, and we are doing IEW with our co-op. So once our co-op starts back, he will be doing both of those during this time slot. I'm hoping that's going to work out. We may end up needing a little bit more time for that, but we'll have to see. Then he does 30 minutes of piano. Then we all break at 12 o'clock for lunch for about 30 minutes. And then after that, he does a check-in with me. And check-in, anytime you see that on this schedule, that's just them coming to me and showing me their planner, because the boys, my oldest 2, are using a planner this year. So I'm trying to make sure they write down everything that they did. I'm also checking their work, making sure everything is right and they didn't miss a bunch of questions or they didn't completely skip over something. I also usually will kind of check in with them with their chores at this time to make sure all of those got done. And then you'll see on here that he has Growing Up with God on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then handwriting on Wednesdays and Fridays. So he just switches those out every other day. And then he does reading time and then typing. Now let's go over to Landon. He does language arts for 30 minutes, then he does math for 30 minutes, and then he does reading and his Explode the Code and handwriting. Now, Explode the Code and handwriting are done every other day as well. And he has his sibling time, lunch, check in with mom, do his piano lesson, and then he does musical multiplication from The Good and the Beautiful after that. Okay, we already talked about Emmy. Oh, she does do a little ballet lesson on YouTube after lunch. It's just this random little YouTube channel that I found that does little ballet lessons, and she has so much fun with it, so we do incorporate that. And then Michael, I put over here a little tot school. Honestly, that is like I pull out a workbook for him and let him just color all in it, or I pull out one of those dry erase books and let him color in it. It just makes him feel like he has his own school to do. So that really is all that is. Next year, I probably will make him a little warm-up binder with a calendar and things like that, but he is not quite ready for that right now. And so that has been all we've been doing for tot school. And then after that, you can see all he has on his schedule is this different sibling times with the different siblings. All right, that is our homeschool schedule for the year. It has worked out beautifully. I have this laminated hanging up on the wall in our homeschool room. I have it on our fridge, and then I have it right here on my little morning time notebook, just on the outside of it. And that works out great. I feel like this has been our best start for any school year we've ever done. Maybe it's because I'm getting more experienced, but I also think it's because I planned so well. And this homeschool schedule, I gave it so much thought, and it is working out just so beautifully. This is the first year I don't feel just like I'm being pulled into 1,000 different directions at one time. I really have worked it out well to where I thought through things like who's going to be needing the iPad at this time, and making sure that 2 of the kids weren't going to need the iPad at the same time. Also making sure that they weren't going to need me at the same time. Now, there has definitely been times where 2 of them need me at the same time, but it really hasn't been a whole lot. So it's working out great. I feel like homeschool schedules often need to change every 2 to 3 months. I feel like, especially if you have a toddler in the mix. So I'm sure this will change as we evolve in our homeschool and as we add in different subjects. But right now it's working great for our family. And so I hope this was helpful to share with you guys. Maybe you got some good ideas on some things that you can do. I hope that sibling time is helpful for you if you are in the toddler phase. It sure has been a blessing for us. And so let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about any of this. And also let me know, what time do you guys start school every morning? I would love to hear this. We can chat about that in the comments. So be sure that you give this video a thumbs up before you head out, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.